Well, good afternoon and Happy New Year to you. I'm Dr. Nancy Stanley and I'm here in my kitchen after working out in the yard repairing fence. My daughter and I have been repairing the fence on the front of our property. You know, after about 25 years, things rot, and so there was some rotted boards. And anyway, we've been doing that, and we love doing projects like that. And it was such a beautiful day for it, and I felt so healthy doing it. That's what I love about being healthy, is that you just feel good and you want to do things. And so I also earlier today I made some broccoli cheese cheddar soup, and that's not something I ever really crave very much, but it was so good that I decided to make it again. Hey Kathy, good to see you. I decided to make it again for you all so you could have it, and then I'll be posting it in an email that I'm sending out tonight. So if I don't have your email, you need to make sure that that you put your email in the comments or message it to me or something. So anyway, and I'm going to tag some of y'all in this video because many of you are my clients, and I want your people to see this so they can know what's ahead. Now, as you can see, I went to that game. I got me a placard. I got me a pom-pom, and I'm actually wearing my husband's hat, but it's okay. He's got the one that I can put my ponytail through. But, okay, so here we go. What I'm starting with over here is I am sauteing an onion, and I like to slice the onion. Now, I am going to emulsify this to make it creamy, but I like to start with my onions kind of sliced, not diced so much, just because I don't like to get a chunk of onion in my mouth. I don't mind a thin slice, but a chunk is not something I want to do. So that's a whole onion that I'm gonna that I have cut up. I've sliced and I've got it here. I'm not sure if you can see that. I might need to. Yeah, you can. Okay. All right. So I'm just gonna saute this until it's clear. All right, until the onions are clear. I really probably should have started this a little earlier. Done this before, and then after it sautés a little bit, I'm gonna add this is about 4 garlic. Now I'm a big fan of garlic, so I want to tell you, before you put your garlic in there, you want to smash it. So what I do, I guess I could show you while this is doing that. Well, here I go. I got one over here. I take my knife and I pop off one like that. And then I lay it down on the counter. I think you can see this. Yeah, I lay it down on the counter. I turn my knife sideways and I hit it really hard. And what that does is it makes all that paper, there we go. It makes all that paper come loose, and then you just have the garlic. And then I will chop that. Now, always take off that little crusty end. And then if there is a green sprout in the middle, take that out. It doesn't taste good. And nobody wants to get that into their mouth. But, you know, I don't think you can ever have too much garlic. So I'm putting this whole garlic that I just did in with what I already have. So let's see if this is going to jump up here and get hot for me. Okay. This is kind of a new stove to me. And let me tell you what I just did. Don't do this. This is not good. I put a whole stick, and you know how much that costs now? About $2. Of butter, and I melted it, and then I turned my stove top off, and I went to the bathroom. When I came back, it was browned, and you don't want to use that. So that's like $2. There might be something else I could cook with it, but I didn't want that browned color or flavor in my soup. Okay, so this is broccoli and cheddar. I made broccoli and cheddar earlier today, but then I thought, you know, we like meat, so I cooked about 12 chicken thighs in some chicken stock. So that's what this is. I used chicken bone broth. I like to use bone broth rather than just chicken broth because bone broth has the collagen in it, which we all want, so we look younger. Yeah. All right, so you see, I'm just sauteing this. I've actually got this on a little bit high. So I do my onions first, and then I add the garlic, because the garlic sometimes will burn a little bit, but you could probably put it all in together if you were going to do it on low. So I just want these to release the flavor. That's what happens when you saute onion. I certainly don't want them to brown and release the flavor. And then I'm going to add, in just a minute, I'm going to add, well, I can go ahead and add this celery. So that's a whole stalk of celery. It's not necessary to put celery in it, but I love celery. And here's the other thing. I love to put all different kinds of vegetables in my dishes. And here's why. Different colors, different textures, different flavors. They all have something different that they bring to the table, just like people, okay? And so, let me see what else I got. Oh, in the bottom of that celery, I'm still looking for it, was some, let me get parsley. Yeah, and parsley also has some very good nutrition in it. A lot of good vitamins and things. So every kind and color of vegetable that you can get. Now here's what I want to remind you not to do. When you're cutting an onion, then this just burns me up, but there's usually a big hunk in the middle. Do not put that, or even the green stem. You see that little green stem? Do not put that in your dishes. It has it's stemmy. It's a stem. It's a seed stem. So be sure with your garlic and your onion when you're cutting them up that you get rid of that. So I'm gonna have to turn this down because I definitely don't want it to turn brown, but it's just about to get there. As you can see, it's getting, I want it clear. I want these vegetables clear, these onions, I want them to be clear. I see something right there that looks like a paper. I don't want that, something off the onion skin. I definitely don't want that in there. Okay, so what I got over here is, let's see, that would be 4 cups of broccoli. So that's one big crown, and I just chopped it up fine. I'm going to go ahead and add it to this broth. So as you can see, I'm putting the broccoli in there. And then I'm going to go ahead and put the carrots because I don't want to saute them. Oh, yeah, that's where the parsley was, at the bottom of the carrots, okay? All right, so I'm going to stir this. I'm going to start it to boiling. And then I'm just going to let it come to a boil. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to emulsify it. You could take it out, put it over in your food processor. You could put it in your Vitamix, or you can just smash it. Anybody ever seen one? This is a good old-fashioned potato smasher. So you could actually, after it gets tender, you could smash it. So that's another thing that you could do. But I like it a little bit creamy. I don't want those lumpy pieces of broccoli in there. Although I am going to have some lumpy pieces of chicken because I'm going to add chicken to it. And I like to have my chicken bite-sized. I don't like to pick up a spoonful and have a big hunk so that it just falls off. I want my chicken to be not real tiny cubes, but bite-sized. Bite-sized, yeah, bite-sized. Okay, so getting this up to temperature here, and I'm gonna, let's see, where can you see it the best? It's hard for me to tell. You can see this pot over here. All right, so I'm gonna let this boil. And then I'm going to put, well, I can go ahead and do this because these onions are just perfect to put over in this soup. So that's about 5 cups of broth. I used one of those whole big cartons. I forgot how many ounces they are. And then I added like a cup of water to it. So I'm going to let this come to boil. And then what I'm going to do is I'd already seasoned that broth, so you definitely want to put some salt. And remember, you want to use real salt. Now, let me tell you why. You're like, well, what's the difference in real salt and iodized salt and whatever? And that's why I buy unsalted butter, because I want to put my own salt in. If you looked in here, you could see there's little brown flakes. And what those are nutrients. Those are the trace minerals that we are missing. The food industry strips food of all that's good, and then it adds back things. When you see natural flavoring on a commodity that you bought, regardless of what it is, that it's not natural at all. They've just taken, and there's a great movie about that. I'd love to share it with you. They've taken, in fact, I might put it in an email. They've taken like a tangerine and they've taken it in the lab and they've recreated that taste, and then they've added that back to it. And what they're doing is they're trying to get you to want more of it. they're actually recreating something that you would crave, and they want you to have more of it. And they're doing that with sugars, they're doing that with different kinds of fruit, but it's not real fruit. It doesn't have any fiber. It doesn't have the goodness that God created fruits and vegetables to have. So as you can see, this is boiling up pretty good. And I could go ahead and add the chicken, but I want to emulsify it before I put the chicken in, because I don't want to emulsify the chicken. So that's pretty much what happens to this. I add the cheese, and then I'm going to add a cup of heavy whipping cream. Now, most recipes for this call for half and half, but let me tell you something about half and half. Half and half has sugar in it. Milk has lactose, and that's what people are allergic to. Most people that are even lactose intolerant can have heavy cream because it does not have sugar in it. It just has fat. So I'm going to put, I think there's about a cup left in here. We use a lot of this. It's hard to find. I usually try to buy the organic, but right now I'm just fortunate to get any of it. The organic, and if you happen to have a Trader Joe's has just pure heavy cream, which this definitely got some additives in it. It's going to have, let's see, I don't have my glasses, but it definitely has some things you don't want in it. So I'm just going to let this boil for 2 or 3 minutes. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to tell you about what I got coming up, okay? So January the 16th, I'm starting a new challenge. And this is for any of you that have been in one of my challenges before and you want to hit the reset button, or for any of you that have never done it and want to do it, okay? So you've got 2 options. You can do a 90-day, or you can just start with a 4-week. And I'll have that in the email. Not this email, but well, I think I do have an option for you to join the waiting list, which is actually just holding your spot. You don't have to pay anything now. You're just going to hold your spot. But I've got about 30 people that I'm taking through right now. They actually went through to Christmas, and many of them have said, I want to keep going because they've had so much success. So that's what you want, is you want success. And what you're going to learn exactly what to do. I know Tracy's on here. I know she's joined my challenge and has had a lot of success. Who is that? I can't really read who it is. Anyway, thanks for joining me. But you're going to learn exactly what to do. You're going to know, I'm going to give you shopping videos so you know what to buy at the store. You're going to learn how to food prep. You're going to have a daily accountability coach, and that would be me. You're also going to have an app where you jump on and do videos with other people that are in the challenge. You don't have to do a video, but you can watch their videos. And it's just fun to connect to community. You know, that's where our success lies, is in our community. So you don't have to weigh. In fact, I discourage weighing, but I do encourage you to log in to this app every day, and it'll take you about a minute or a minute and a half to log in. But that's what accountability is, and I'd love to share that experience with you. Can you just imagine? Let's see, January, February, March, April 16th, and you've lost 30 pounds. Most all of my clients lose at least 30 pounds. Some lose 40. Some lose a little bit less if they have less to lose, but they lose weight. But not only do they lose weight, they learn how to fuel their body, okay? Because food is fuel, and if you can love what you're eating, I love this soup. I don't just like it. I love it. I love it enough that I wanted to make some for you so you can see what it's like. I wanted to demonstrate it to you. So, so that's going to take about another minute. But so you want to go from being I have to do this, or I need to do this, to I get to do this, to I love to do this, and I love being healthy. I really do. We went to that game up in Atlanta, and I've mastered the art of eating a hamburger and not eating the bun. Okay, so I hold it in the bun, and then I peel off top and bottom what I'm going to bite, and I bite it. And then in my little container is going to be all the little pieces of bread. And then I peel off another bite. So I get all the goodness without all the poison, is what I say. And I really enjoy it. And I'll usually get a hot dog, and I'll do the same thing. And just enjoyed having some healthier foods, not the healthiest of foods, but some healthier foods. And wasn't that a great game? Go Dogs, go Dogs. So we're headed out to Los Angeles this weekend. It's going to be really fun. I've already been looking at restaurants and some of the food they have out there. They have some options out there. We don't have a lot of options in Vidalia, Georgia, but they have some options out there. So yeah, and you know what? I love it that I feel like doing that. At 66 years old, I want to put good food in my body because I want my body to run like a well-oiled machine. So make sure I have your email. You don't want to miss the email. That's the way I'm going to communicate with you about what's coming up. I am going to be doing a workshop next week when I get back from Los Angeles. It's going to educate you on what you need to do to get ready. So make sure I have your email. Reserve your spot. Even if you maybe think, well, I don't know if I want to do it or not, reserve your spot because I'm only adding 30 people and I've got a lot going on. I've got a brother that's ill that I've been taking care or not taking care of, but seeing about, and I'm going to be going up to visit him. So I don't want to take on too many people, but I do want to take on 30 because there's 30 of you out there that if you learn this, if you got in this program by April 16th, you could be 30 pounds lighter. And every client I've ever had said it was worth every bit of sacrifice and every bit of money that they paid. And most of my clients that have more than 30 to lose join again. So if you've been in it before and you want an opportunity, then message me. I'll give you a spot. It's very discounted from what you had paid before since it's your second go round. And I'd love to add you to it. All right, so here we go. I'm about to finish up the soup. So this is my emulsifier. I don't know if you have one of these. It's really a little bit dangerous to be doing this over this hot liquid, but all I do is I just go in here and make sure I'm putting my quart up, and I'm just emulsifying. I'm just kind of I'm emulsifying this soup because I want it to be creamy and smooth. So I'm just going around here. You see, I'm not leaving it on. I'm just pulsing it. And the reason for that is I don't want it to splash up. Okay. Normally I would let this cool, but since you're there and I don't want you waiting. Okay, so there we go. Now I'm going to just check it and see. Yeah, I got most of the lumps out. Okay, so I'm going to put some chicken in here. I'm going to turn it off. I'm going to put about half of this chicken. So this was like a dozen chicken thighs, and I'm going to put half of it because my daughter asked me to leave her some because she's got some dish she's making. And then I'm going to put the cheese in, and the reason I'm putting it in this order is I don't want this to be really hot when I add the heavy cream, because if it's really hot, it'll break down the cream, and you don't want that to happen. So there we go. Let me move it over here. And then I'm going to pour in. I do a Zoom call once a week with all of my clients, and we're going to get on there tonight. We're going to have a good time because a lot of my clients have been through the holiday. They jumped off the wagon, and they're ready to get back on. So we're going to have a good time. So here we go. I'm putting this heavy cream in, and I'm just going to tell you. My husband came in here a few minutes. He looked at the broth. He said, "Are you going to put anything else in there?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm going to put some broccoli and chicken and all of that." So let me just spoon up a bowl full so you can see. I've got a ladle right here. So you can just see how yummy that is going to be. Look at that. Yummy, yummy, yummy. Okay. Might need to put a little bit more salt, but I'll check it. But thank y'all for joining me. Remember, put your email down. Either send it to me in a message or put it down here, and I'll add you now because I'm about to go take this video, put it on the email. The recipe is on the email, and I'm going to send it out. So don't miss out, and y'all stay tuned and watch out. If I'm not your friend, friend me so you can see my videos my live videos that are going to be coming up, and then you'll be ready for the workshop that's going to happen next week. Go Dogs, and y'all have a great day.